this computer.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, recording. I just clicked the recording. Then we can wait for, okay, I see 5 participants. Oh, there you go, Balaganesh.
Yeah, hi Arun, how are you?
I am truly blessed, Balaganesh. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm just traveling. Sorry for the background noise from my side.
No problem. I really appreciate you took time in joining, Balaganesh.
Yeah,
Hey, Joseph.
thanks for your session. Yeah, I'm eagerly waiting for it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll learn many things about leadership.
Thanks. Yeah.
Skill. Balaganesh. Hi, Joseph. Thanks for joining. Very good morning, sir. How are you? How are you, sir?
Good morning.
Very good morning, Joseph. Good to see you again.
Glad to be here today. When I saw the advert, I was so really excited. Actually, I've not been missing for some time now. So
okay.
I'm glad to be here today.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, fantastic. Yes, today we're going to learn many things about some of the leadership skills and the traits, what would be needed in the workplace. I'm pretty sure participants will have some key takeaway. Okay, I see somebody by the name with the name of 10. May I know who's the person name? Hello, the 10. Okay.
Probably he's speaking on mute.
Okay.
Unmute yourself then.
Yeah. That's fine. Recording on this computer. Okay. All right. What time it is? We can probably we can just give 2 more minutes, and then we can get started. By the time maybe others might be joining. Even I'm fine if there is one person like Balaganesh or one person Joseph, one person like Senthil Nathan. I would love to do the sharing. Yeah, I understand. There's also.
How's it going from your end, Arun?
Sorry.
How's it going? How are you doing, Arun?
Things are just happening. Fantastic, Bala. Life is happening. I would say there are a bunch of things happening in different walks of life, personal, professional, and some of the things what I'm pursuing. It's happening. Okay, I see Robert had joined. Hey, Robert, thanks for joining. Robert, may I know where are you from, Robert? Robert, if you can say where are you from?
Bro, I'm Robert.
Okay, Robert.
Actually,
okay.
I might be enter my name as Ulang, so
okay.
let me know.
Well, that's fine. You can stay on mute. We'll get started in a minute.
Sure.
I know it's 7:35. We'll get started. Okay, so this is the flyer. What you're seeing. Hope you can see my screen. If somebody can confirm. Right, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yep, I can see your screen.
You don't see the screen. Bala, how about you?
No, it's visible. It's very visible. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Joseph, can you confirm whether you're able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good. Oh, okay, you confirmed it. Okay, good. All right, it's 5 minutes past 9 a.m. here, and we have a couple of folks in the line. Okay, so I see Arsha join. Hey, Arsha, thanks for joining, Arsha.
Hey, hi, Arun. Sorry, I got late.
No problem, Arsha. How are you?
Doing so well. Excited for today's session.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, this is something I thought I'll just created by drawing analogy between RRR film and also some of the important leadership traits needed in the workplace. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good learning session for all of us, including myself.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is a flyer, what you're seeing here. Okay, I started off with a question of, are you looking for a 3 unique leadership skill or trait in your workplace? I'm going to get that covered. But pretty much the next 1 hour, we're going to cover a bunch of things, what you see on the right-hand side. We're going to do instead of ice break, I thought I would just do a stretch break. Okay, you might be wondering what stretch break. Okay, I'll come there. And then I'm going to start off with the opening thought, something what I really wanted to share. And then we'll get into the technical discussion or the main context. Oops, sorry. And then we'll be covering about the news management style. Also, we'll be covering on the RRR, the Filmi-based leadership traits, something about respect. resilient, and responsible. And also tips, right? At the end of the session, you need to know how to implement those traits. That's a key aspect of anyone who's conducting any session. And then we'll talk about the preserve versus people in a leadership context, and also the closing thought. Okay, those are the items we have lined up. Without much ado, we can get started. All right. So normally when I conduct a session, I just see to that to give a kind of a quick introduction about myself so that people know with whom they're talking with. Okay, by the way, that's me. It was taken when I was called as a chief guest in one of a college for a speech. Here we go. Well, I'm a simple guy and easy to connect with. Hope you can see the header as well, right? Arsha, Joseph, hope you can see the header as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The next is, I like to visit new places, meeting new people. That's something I really like. The reason is when you meet new people, there's a new energy flows. You get a chance to learn something about that person. So that's something I really like. And the other thing is that I love spending time with nature. In fact, nature is one of my mentor, one of my teacher. I spend a lot of time with nature, understanding the nature, how it's functioning, how it's existing. The next is I'm a elbowed person. When I say elbowed, I'm a lifelong learner. At every point of time, I make sure that I keep learning something or other, which would add value to self and also add value to others. So I like solo driving. I go solo driving in Bullet. My house is closer to the beach in Chennai, so I go for a solo drive. Also, I like to learn new languages. I can speak 5 different languages: Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam, English, Tamil. By the way, I'm a Tamilian. I'm proud to say that. So that's the kind of interest which I built to learn new language. Also, I've developed interest in learning about human psychology. So in fact, that just made me to do my master's as well. In fact, I'm still continuing some of my in-depth research and studies, because eventually I wanted to do my doctorate as well, PhD. And I'm a voracious reader. Currently, I'm reading 3 books in parallel. Just in case if anyone interested to know those 3 books, hope you can see my screen. So this is called The One Thing by Gary. It's a beautiful book. And then the another one, it's called Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. I'm reading this for the 2nd time. This is something to improve my communication. And then the 3rd one is about The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. This is a fantastic book pertinent to the psychology aspect. And my short-term goal is that I wanted to become an author. Perhaps that just, I got it since I read a lot of books that made me to get into that short-term goal. I have no clue, but I want to become an author. And my long-term goal to follow my passion, which I'm trying to still figure out, but most likely it would be around coaching and mentoring among college students, particularly the underprivileged college students. I'm already doing some of the mentoring with them. I wanted to make that as a profession down the line. And then my favorite philosophy. Okay, how many of you would like to know my favorite philosophy? You can unmute and say, yes, Arun, I want to.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, good. And this is my favorite philosophy. If I will change, everything will change. The 7-letter word changed a lot of things as a person who I am right now. I'm in the journey, I'm in the pursuit. It is really working. Perhaps I can just take a session just on that one philosophy and what are the changes that one philosophy had made in my life too. If Vijay or Sharvi can give me that opportunity. Okay. And then I'm passionate about touching people's life in some way or other. In the best way I could, if I can just make 1%, 1 degree of change in touching people's life, that would just make my life. And then I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, closer to beach. I have 2 priceless kids. I have a teenage daughter and then a young son, princess and prince, and then 1 precious wife. Right now I'm in the US for an assignment. Finally, people call me Arun because that's my name. And I wanted to wish very good luck to all of you. So it's a quick introduction of myself so that we know with whom you'll be spending the next 40 minutes or so. Okay, good. Is the spaces okay? Is the spaces okay? And let me know if I'm rushing too much. I like to take things in a little bit a slow manner. Okay, I'm yet to get into the topic. Normally, when I conduct session, this is a typical agenda I try to follow. I try to say who I am, and then try to open the session with the opening thought, which would just intrigue you, and also just give a tap your thinking on some areas of your life, and then we'll get into the core agenda, right? So that's like a starter. You have a main course, and then you have a dessert, something like that. I would like to start this session with simple opening thought. Now, I would like to ask a question to the participant. Can somebody read what you see on the header?
What is the smallest word in English? In English dictionary.
Thank you, Joseph. By the way, do you know the answer, Joseph?
Yes, A.
Sorry, you said what?
Just A. The alphabet A.
Well, yes, but that's not the slimmest. The smallest.
Yeah.
The smallest. Oh, thanks, Harsha. Who was that? Harsha, right?
Yeah, Harsha, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Harsha, you're right. I is the smallest and slimmest word in English dictionary. But I wanted to just start the session with the opening thought. In real life, are we making this I smaller or bigger? Maybe the participant can open up and say, in real world, are we trying to make this I smaller or bigger?
It's bigger. Yeah, we are making it bigger.
Exactly, Bala. In reality, in walk of our life, we make that is the biggest word. By our ego, I am, right? Universe, in God's creation, the universe doesn't say that I am big. Sun doesn't say I'm big. Moon doesn't say I'm big. Water doesn't say I'm big. Everything exists. But the problem with the one creature, the human being, is that we say that I am the biggest of all creation. I am, right? Your existence is so minuscule in the entire cosmic realm. Every other tree, every other creature, every other God's creation entity just exists. But we don't exist. We think that I am so important to this world. But the universe at least cares about our presence. It just functions, right? So the thought here is, I want you to ask a question. Are you making your I, the so-called the ego, the ego, right? Are you making that as a big, or making small? And you might be asking, Harun, probably I'm thinking that too much of the big I. Is there a way you can teach us how I can make the I smaller? Absolutely. For that, you need to just exist. Okay, that statement might be a little bit intriguing or a little bit confusing, but if you just exist who you are, what sort of person you are, then things would happen, and then your I get reduced, and then you become part of the nature, and then life just happens seamlessly. Okay, so that's a quick opening thought I would like to share across. Are we good on time? Yes, we are good on time. We can quickly get into the main agenda, what we got for today. All right. Then I was just thinking what topic I would share it with the participant. I was thinking probably I should cover something about the leadership, because we are the working professional. Yeah, we may have a fewer participants in the call, but again, if someone is going to listen to it later from YouTube and other source, it would be useful to them. Something around the leadership skill. And also Balaganesh, I want to thank Balaganesh because he just gave a compliment that Arun, I think you have a leadership skill. I thought, why don't I combine both and come up with a session to cover something about leadership? Okay. Well, this is a quick agenda what I got on my plate to share across. One is about the news management style. I don't know how many of you have heard. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about triple R leadership skills. I'm just using leadership skill, but per se, it is the traits, the quality, the attribute of being a good leader. And then I've just sorted that to cover 3 different tips as well, how to implement that, right? I'm not here to just puke or rather just say what I know, but I wanted to teach some kind of a tips to you folks so that you can start practicing it. Also, I'll be covering something about pizza versus people in a leadership context, which would be useful to you. And also the last one would be the closing thought. With that, as I mentioned, we'll just get started off with a so-called icebreaker. In this case, I'm going to do a kind of a stretch break. In the pandemic, one thing what every particular people who are working in the IT started to spend more time in front of the monitor. And also there was a article says the mail transaction got increased 4x time of how it was pre-pandemic, which means we are using our arms, wrist, fingers to type so much content, so much information, which means obviously your wrist going to take a huge toll. Okay, the stretch break I'm going to teach you. Hope you can see myself clearly. What you can do, just stretch take your palm like this. Okay. Now we're just going to do a little bit of stretch for your wrist, because you work in this portion to type, your wrist is going to take huge toll and it's going to really ache. The stretch goes like this. Stretch your hand and bend your palm backward like this to the count of 1, 2, 3. Now bend it forward. 1, 2, 3. Yes, easy like that. You can just do it for your left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and a 3. Okay, so that's a demo. Now we are going to do it. I hope you're doing with me, please. Okay, let's just start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy. You can repeat that thrice after the meeting. Also, by the way, I practice this every day so that my wrist does not get hurt. Okay, so that's stretch break 1. Stretch break 2. Stretch your hand, make it a fist, and try to rotate clockwise 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Likewise, anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Easy. Okay, by the way, that's a demo and we are going to do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So when you do this, your wrists get relaxed. These 2 simple exercise does wonders. At least I'm practicing it and it's working out for me. Okay. So with that note, what we can get started of the main course content. All right, so before we proceed, this is something I see to that to emphasize, that there will be the different set of participant normally we have, right, in any session. Last time Joseph done a fantastic job, and I want this time maybe Arsha, can you just read what you see on the screen on the bottom?
Absolutely. The cup is full. I know about it already. What's the big deal in it?
Okay, good. So this is one set of audience. Normally they say, I know this content already. What's a big deal in it? And there is one more set of audience you will find. Okay, I need one more volunteer. Robert, do you want to go for that? Do you want to read what you see on your screen? On the right-hand side?
Yeah, sure. The cup is upside down. Oh, this is not for me. Let me mind our own business.
Okay, good. Thanks, Robert, for that. Yeah, last time Joseph did a fantastic job with the oof. And you will find but there in between these two, there is one other important set of participant exist. They would remain half empty and half full. You see, there is an arrow, there is a purpose for it. The more you empty your head, empty what you know, the more space you get in your head to fill in. Okay, we're going to do a small exercise for that as well. We're going to create some space in our head. Okay, in our head space, we're going to create it. I want you to do it like this. I want you to shake your head, tilt your head, okay, 5 times like this. Okay, can we do it one more time? I want everyone, just make it a little bit interactive, because conducting session through online, it has its own challenge, but let's just make it a little bit interactive. Okay, at the count of 1, 2, 3, we're going to do it again. Okay, just shake your head 5 times. What did we do? We literally just created some space in our head so that you receive some of the information what I'm going to share. Okay, with that starting note, we can get started. Well, and now let's just start talking about the main context of this particular session. Even before proceeding that, I thought I would just share this particular news management style. How many of you heard, by the way, the news management style? Anybody? Even if you haven't heard, it's okay. Sorry, Arsha,
This is the first time.
Okay, good, Arsha,
Yeah.
no problem. That's why I'm here. I'm going to teach you. Joseph Balaganesh, have you heard this news management style?
No, first time.
Okay, good.
I haven't read.
Well, that's why I'm here to teach quite a few things, because I love teaching. What is this? What you see on the screen? It's nothing but the compass, right? Which shows the direction: north, east, west, and south. But there is a concept in management. Since we're talking about leadership skill, we're talking about leadership trait. I thought I will just spill some information about this news management style that would help you to gauge and see under which management style you are predominantly handling things, and is it giving you the needed result? If not, probably you can try the different management style as well. Okay, now YAN stands for now. There are in the management style. I hope you might have worked with some manager. They would want everything now, today, EOD, next 2 hours. The presentation should be done in the next 45 minutes. Yes or no? How many of you agree with that?
Yeah, we encountered that kind of scenarios. Yes.
Okay, I worked with, by the way, I worked with some 40 plus different managers in my 20 years of IT journey. I happened to work with all the different types of manager. And there is a person I could remember, Bharati. Her name is Bharati. Bharati, she's I'm going to pick some example as well. So she carries that kind of now, everything wanted now. A second management style is nothing but empathetic. There are managers who empathize your situation. Okay, if there is a problem, they empathize. Empathize is nothing but you try to see that person's situation by going into their shoe. From that particular disposition, you subject yourself into their disposition, and then try to see. They empathize quite a few things, and then they try to do. There are a couple of managers with whom I've worked. They empathize. If I'm going to say a problem, Kumar, it looks like this problem, it's like this. And then they try to empathize. Okay, then we got to change the solution. We got to take care of this. We need to bring in new people. We got to take care of this risk. Third, it's nothing but why type of manager. How many of you have worked with, or rather your manager is why type? Why means they need the why first. Even if something, a burning issue, even if there is the building is burning, they will ask, tell me why it's burning. Who did it? When did it happen? What had made the fire? Yes or no? Have you worked with such a why managers?
Yes.
Yes.
I worked with many why managers. The problem is why management, experts say why management style, it's not good. And it just brings the team morale very, very down. The last is nothing but, as is called social. They're very much gregarious in nature. When I say gregarious, they easily move around. They socialize with all the team member. They know the team member's dog name, including the dog name. And if the grandma is sick, still they know, how is your grandma? Is your grandma is okay? Okay, so they try to socialize. There is a difference between empathetic and social. Both are not the same. Someone is being social, they may not be able to empathize with you. They move around with you, they go along with you for dinner, lunch, but they can't empathize. I know one manager, his name is Guru. I worked with him in 2005. He's very much social. Okay, he will have people around with him. Whenever he goes for a break, he goes out, he will have people around. Now you might be asking, Arun, that's fine, but which is a good style? There is no right or wrong answer. That's something you need to figure out. Which management style you want to use it based on the situation. When something is really impending, when something is really needed, you can't be very social. Okay, no problem. I will talk to the director that will send the report tomorrow or the weekend. No, you can't work. It doesn't work that way, right? You need to be different. You need to handle that different. Now, I would need it. Can I get that by tomorrow, everybody? Yeah. You may be asking, Arun, what sort of style you work? I mix all of them. I make sure none of this one specific management style become dominant. That way I strike a balance. Hope that was a good learning, friends, about news management style. Can I have a yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to practice or rather try to see which management style you're predominantly in, and then you can make the changes. Okay, we'll get started with the next context. Oh, here we go. How many of you likes movie? But I'm not a movie person. I'm very choosy in watching movie based on my interest. How many of you a movie person? How many of you like movie? Can I have a yes? No, I don't like. I'm not a movie person. Can we just make it a little bit interactive, friends? Bala, are you a movie person?
Yes, not. I used to watch so much movies that I vexed up with the movies. Then I become very selective.
Okay. Okay. In this session, okay, if you're a movie person, I've tailored the entire session or the content aligned with the movie. That way your learning will be much more interesting. Okay. I'm going to talk about three different personality, three different characters, and what sort of traits everyone had possessed, exhibit in them, which make them to work towards one common objective. That's a goal, right? You being a leader in your organization, you being your own so-called boss in the role what you do, but still there is one thing you work towards, that objective, right? Here we go. So the trailer starts here. So it's called the RRR leadership skill. But again, nothing in the corporate side. I'm just going to use character 1, character 2, character 3. 3 different characters, except 3 different leadership skill. Okay. How many of you be interested to learn about the RRR leadership skills and traits? Can I have a yes from the audience, please, before I go? Can I have a yes?
Yes, excited, Arun. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. And
Yes.
let's just make sure that I get the yes. And before I proceed, is everybody okay? Whoever okay, can you just say, yes, I'm okay. Can you just unmute and say, I'm okay?
Excited and okay, Arun.
I just heard only
I'm
3.
okay.
Okay. And now let's just do this little bit slightly different. You're going to say, I am okay, Arun, just to make sure that we are okay. Can we do that one more time? I'm okay, Arun.
I'm okay, Aaron.
Okay, good. Thank you, Joseph, for that prompt response.
Arun.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm okay, bro. I'm okay, Arun.
Okay, good. Yeah. So these are small ways to keep the audience engaged, right? I carry a different personality when I conduct an in-person workshop before hundreds of students, hundreds of people. My personality, it's slightly get differ. But since we are talking over the Zoom, I need to carry a different personality to make it a little bit interactive. Okay, good. With that note, we can get started. Are we good on time? Yes, we are good on time. 9:30. Oh, respect. I'm not going to talk more or other just to what was the scene and things like that. But whoever saw this particular film, Joseph, you may not be able to connect this particular scene or the film. Don't worry, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'll give a quick context to the participant who are on the call. This particular character, according to me, is a great leader. He had earned the respect from his tribe. remember, friends, unless you garner means unless you gain, amass the respect from your fellow team members, you cannot become a leader. This particular character as a person, he had gained respect from all his tribe members, from all his village member, and he started to train all of them in different techniques. If you are in the position to train people, to take care of the delivery, you need to gain, you need to earn the respect from your team member. The reason why I'm saying this, in 2008, when I was working in TCS, my manager, his name is Saprano, he taught me, Arun, make sure you earn the respect from your team member. Otherwise, they're not going to listen to what you say. The lesson, what he said, 2008, I'm practicing it. I make sure that I get the respect from my team member, then things become much easier, right? So in this picture, what you see, he does amazing work. He bring the entire village to defeat the British people who came to. By the way, the story revolves around maybe okay. I'll just say there's 2 lines in the storyline. So the story revolves around the pre-independence in India. 3 different character. Everybody works on their own area to get the freedom, and also save the loved one, and also to take revenge in fulfilling his father's dream. So those are the 3 different character, right? Now you may be asking, Arun, that's fine, I understand. We need to gain the respect from the team member, but can you tell us how to gain the respect? Yes, that's really important. That is the learning I'm going to share. Team, you need to, how to build the respect, right? You need to appreciate. Before explaining things about this appreciate, there are 2 ways where you can gain respect. One is intellectually, one is emotionally. When I say intellectually, if your core competence is extremely great, extremely good, you can gain the respect. If your core competence is not that great, still you can gain the respect by emotionally connecting with the people. How do you connect with the people? You can easily connect with them by through your appreciation. If something they do, try to appreciate the good work what they have done. This is something I'm practicing for the past 15 years in the different leadership roles. Anything my team member does, I make sure that they get the due appreciation note, reaches not just 1 level up, not 2 level up until the top level, the head of that particular group. I make sure that the respective team member get that appreciation. That's what it's all about. And we are not used to give our appreciation to others. Why? Because you need to be in a good different state to give appreciation. If you're giving appreciation, people tend to think that you are showing you're incompetent. That's why somebody had done. No, it's the other way around. When you start giving more and more appreciation to your fellow member, you would automatically gain the respect. Now you can ask me, Arun, can you just share your own personal experience in getting respect? Yes, I used to manage team member in single digit, double digit, and also triple digit. When I say triple digit, to the max of 424 or 400 plus, there was time where I was managing 400 plus team member, and I made sure that I get the due respect from all the members. It's slightly challenging, but how do you get it? The practice what I follow is, I don't go with my way is a highway approach. No, it doesn't work. You got to be a little bit diplomatic, and also a little bit, I'll not use the word autocrat. You need to be diplomatic in taking the input, and then you take your decision, and then you implement the decision in an autocrat manner. You can't just be very much diplomatic and then try to, no, it doesn't work in leadership. Certain things you need to be autocrat in the sense you have to command, and then your fellow member need to follow. So that's how I've done it, and it really worked. Okay, hope it was a good learning. The first step to build your build your leadership skill, you need to appreciate, okay, in order to get the respect. Now we can quickly move on to the next R. Can somebody read what you see on the screen?
Yeah, resilient.
Resilient. Can somebody say meaning of resilient? If anyone know.
The capacity to come back
Oh, very nice.
after
Very
a
good.
mistake.
Yeah. So one is the capacity to come back, and also your stamina to withhold even after many punches. Can I put it that way?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, like unrelenting.
I'm sorry, Joseph.
I said unrelenting, when you don't relent, when
Yes,
you keep bouncing back whenever you push down.
that's
When you
correct.
don't see setbacks, you see setback as a set off for greatness.
Right. When you exactly, thanks, Joseph. You use the word, nice word, setback. When you face setback, how quickly you can come back, right? And we tend to, if there is a setback, we tend to go back. We don't come back. Okay. So I picked up this particular leadership attribute of resilient, and then how you can build that in your workplace. Okay. How many of you, I hope you're interested to learn that. Okay. People who watch the RRR film, they'll be able to easily understand this particular scene. Okay, Bala, I hope you watched RRR film?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah.
Do you wanted to just give an explanation about this particular scene in the film?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So he believes his friend, okay, to the life and soul, but unfortunately, he's the person, his close friend is the person who is working closely with the British department, and he will get him, he'll get him
Slashed.
slashed before everyone, so that, yeah, I think the goals were same, but yeah, he will be red-handedly booked before the British department, and he's about to punish now.
That's a very good context. But if you can just slightly come back to this specific scene where the trials and tribulation what character 2 was undergoing. I mean, he was
Exactly.
getting,
So
yeah, what are the things he was undergoing?
yeah, it's a very difficult situation, because he as a friend had a good relationship with him previously, but he has a goal on back of his mind, which his own very close friend have to undergo the tribulations for the sake of his higher benefit, higher goal.
Okay.
He have to sacrifice his friend for the sake of his higher goal.
Okay, good. But thanks, Bala. But it was you're very spontaneous in taking a volunteering. I really appreciate that. Just to explain a bit about this particular scene, this character 2, he takes a lot of slash from his friend in a normal whip, and he gets a command, no, normal whip is not enough. We need to slash him through using barbed whip. Barbed whip in the sense it has the barbed wires in the whip, and then he get the slash. Character 2 get the slash from the barbed wire. No, it's not sufficient, and then they get a hit. And then a third thing is they try to stamp, force him to go on the knee. Then blood start to effuse from his body, which means there are a bunch of blows this character 2 was getting again and again and again. Friends, in corporate life, we also get various other punches. I need a volunteer. Maybe Asha, you wanted to just pick and read that?
In the workplace, anyone will undergo humongous challenges. For example, tight schedule, roadblocks, failures, etc.
Okay, good. Thanks, Asha, for that. So this is common. We all working professional. We know how things work in a typical corporate environment where you have a tight schedule. That's a blow. And somebody resigned, that's a blow. And there's a delivery issue, that's a blow. And there is an impediment, that's a blow. Yes or no? And after you develop everything, you put in production, that doesn't work. That's a failure. That's a blow. Yes or no? Which means you as a leader, it's really important to build that resilient, how quickly you can come back, not only in your professional life, even in your personal life. People, they take things for granted. They don't come back. And it's really, really important, imperative to build a resilient nature in workplace and also in your professional life. I'm going to share a simple tip. As I mentioned, for respect, you need to appreciate. That's a tip. Likewise, I'm going to share, in order to build your resilient, what is that one thing you can do to build your resilient, right? How many of you are interested to know that tip?
I'm Arun.
Okay, good.
Interested.
Sure.
Thank
I'm
you.
also, yeah.
And the tip is nothing but, whether you like it or not, friends, you need to accept the challenge. There is no other option at all. Problem comes when you don't accept things. The more you don't accept, you create a lot of resistance that no, this is not possible. No, the timeline is very, very, very too tight. Oh, this is not going to work. It needs 1,000 man days of effort. No, it's not possible. We always go into the mode of not accepting things. Yes or no? In work and also in life, if there is a challenge, somebody has some other problem, the challenge they face, and what they think, no, I can't. The moment you start accepting the reality, there is a concept called ATR, accept the reality. The moment you start accepting the reality, for example, in the previous slide, we saw the character 2, he started to get a lot of blows. He started to accept that. The more he accept, right? And then the more he was able to manage it, right? He was able to carry the trials and tribulation, okay? He was able to manage it, okay? Hey, you'll have to just give me a minute. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, there's a background noise. I just went to correct that. Okay. So only when you start accepting that, right, then you build your resilient. Otherwise, it becomes very, very difficult. In order to build resilient leadership, okay, I need a volunteer. Somebody can just read this out, please. Volunteer, please.
Can I go ahead or anybody?
Yeah, Bala, please.
Yeah, sure. In order to rebuild resilient relationship, right, you need to just accept the challenges.
Yes. The moment you start accepting this is what it is, when you accept the reality, only then things start to fall in your plate. Psychologically, you would tend to focus more on the solution statement rather than the problem statement. Why? Because your mind had accepted that. Okay. So we saw, in order to get the respect, you need to appreciate. In order to build your resilience, you need to accept. Okay. Now let's just quickly go on to the third, right? Responsible. Well, so this is a huge and a vast area. When I say this responsible, right? It's really huge. It has multiple facets as well, how somebody could be responsible enough and the things what they do in their action through their words, right? I thought I will just pick this one specific character, which is the character 3 of a person, and also one specific scene which I liked, how he was able to fulfill his responsibility. Okay, now I would need a volunteer from the from the participant. Can somebody explain about this particular scene so that Joseph, you'll be able to understand this particular scene? Who'd like to go?
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, Bala, please.
Yeah, so this is the first scene of the movie. So in order to gain the impression from his supervisor or superior, so this character, police officer, will take a huge risk, a life risk, for him to grow up the scale and get into the good impression of his manager, I can say. So he take it as a huge risk. Okay, and then he banks on and he shows his valor, and then yeah, he successfully executes the tasks.
Excellent, very nicely put. Yeah, from my 2 cents. So the scene, so there is a riot happens, and one of the rioters pelt a stone into the police station, and then that stone hit in one of the officer photo and drops down, and then the commander tells him who's going to go and catch that guy who pelted the stone, and the hero would say, yes, I am, and then he takes a huge risk to go and catch him. Okay, that's a scene behind that. But in our professional life, are we really serious about the responsibility what we have? Whatever the role you may be doing, you might be a QA person, you might be a agile coach, you might be a delivery director, you might be a project manager, scrum master, business analyst. Are you taking your roles, which means your responsibility, seriously? That's a question I wanted to ask. Take your current role responsibility with serious, because casualness leads to casualty. That's a philosophy, by the way. I thought I will just, in a simple terms, how I could mention that casualness leads to casualty. If you're taking things casually in your life, professionally, personally, I'm pretty sure we end up at some point of time, there is a casualty. Okay, now let's just quickly go to the tip, how we can build the responsibility. Just a point to add here on this particular scene. Irrespective of the challenges he faced, the impediments he faced, this guy did not never give up. If you are responsible to finish certain things, never ever give up. If you're going to give up, then which means you lack your responsibility. Now, how do you apply that in your professional scenario, right? So you are working on a tight timeline, you are working on multiple projects. What happens? We take a backseat, or other not possible, then we take a backseat and we say probably it's not possible, but go against the odd to make it happen. That's when you raise as a leader. And another point, among the other police officer, he comes forward and say, take the challenge, right? So you got to take risk, you got to be courageous enough, even if there is a roadblock, you got to keep going. Only then you would emerge as a leader. Okay, now you may be asking, Arun, the theory part is fine, but how do I learn it? How do I implement to become a responsible person, right? What you would do is, okay, how to build accountable leadership trait. For this is you will, okay, how to be accountable, right? Okay. So for the responsible, to become a more responsible person, you need to add your accountability quotient. Accountable is something really, really big than the responsibility word. When you say accountable, you are accountable for that from the beginning till the end. The buck stop here. That is called accountability. You say, hey, this is something I need to finish off. I am accountable for this, right? It's not that easy to take a complete ownership. So in other words, accountable is nothing but the complete ownership. The more you take the complete ownership of something, then you become an accountable person. When you become an accountable person, and that's where you build your responsibility. That's how I've done in my 20 years of IT journey, where I take total ownership of it. Then I become accountable of it, because I was handling an entire account from beginning till the end all by myself, because I was holding accountable for that. And how you'll do that accountable? By your word and by your action. In the previous slide, what we saw, the character, the hero, he stuck with his word, I will go and get him. He said, and then the people who had watched the film would really appreciate the action what he took to catch hold of him. He just moved around with people, among the people, he gets so many blows. People run in the mountain, still he takes everything, and the action was a humongous action. So your words and action need to be aligned in order to make you as an accountable person. Okay? Now we just came to the last end of the session. We are good on time. We have 10 more minutes. I thought I'll just share this particular concept as well, because this also comes under the management and also the leadership aspect. Now I'm going to ask 3 different questions. How many questions? 3 different questions. Okay. Question number 1. I need a volunteer to read it.
The whole in what? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
In what shape pizza is packed?
And I need an answer from the participant.
Box shape.
Box is fine. Shape.
Rectangle.
Circle.
Square.
Square.
Right?
Square. Yeah.
Question 2. Need a volunteer and also answer to read it.
In what shape? In what shape the pizza is baked?
Answer?
Circle.
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 That's right. And 3rd question. Volunteer and answer.
Triangle shape. In what shape the pizza is eaten? Triangle shape.
See?
No, there is no shape. No shape for it.
No, typically we eat it in triangle. We couldn't eat in triangle. Or you just like that Munch who said no shape. So
Yeah.
who said no shape? Actually speaking, when we eat, when the pizza is served, it is given in a triangle shape. Yes? At least what of the pizza I had, it was in a triangle shape. maybe I'll take that as a research to find out why they are cutting in a triangle shape. Okay, now what is the moral? How does this applicable when it comes to leadership? You may be asking. What's the moral? Would you be interested to know the moral of this? It's simple, friends. So the moral is, in your workplace, you'll meet different people in different packaging. And I say packaging, it's all of the mental temperament, what they carry, whether they will be moody, they'll be jolly, they will be reserved. That's a kind of a package of the people. Next, when you start to interact with them, that is when you open the box, right? You will find the pizza is in a round shape, which means the characters are different. Somebody is moody, but the behavior would be different, right? And 3rd, when you eat them, not literally by the way, the behavior will be altogether different, which means when it comes to the management, when it comes to leadership, it's not the same people who we are seeing would behave the same way. We tend to think, okay, this person is like this person will behave like this. No, absolutely no. Then what is the simple solution to deal this? It's all about, I need a volunteer to read the bottom line. Volunteer, please.
Yeah. So you as a leader need to accept that people are different.
Absolutely. That's a simple thought. I would like to bring it on the table. You need to accept that people are different, because when it comes to leadership, it's all about you as a leader. You're handling set of people to get things done, to finish off the work. Unless otherwise you accept that they are different, we will always end up, because you see somebody as a square and then you try to eat them in a square shape. It doesn't work that way. Or you see after you opening, you see them round and then you try to eat in the round manner. It's not going to work. Why it is cut slice in a triangle means so that you can eat it from the corner of the triangle, then it becomes easy to eat. And there is a place to hold the crust and then you can eat it. So you need to accept that people are different. Okay, now the closing thought. We came to the end of the session. We have a summary. I will just summarize what we have learned today. But the closing thought is, again, I need a volunteer who can read it. Robert, you want to read it?
Okay.
Leadership is action, not position.
Thank you. I repeat it again, leadership is action, not position. Most of the time we tend to think, okay, I'm in this position, I'm in the leadership position, then I no need to take action. Or rather, the people will take action or my subordinate will take action, but it doesn't work that way. Leadership is all about the action. In fact, if you ask me, that's a massive action. I need a volunteer who can read what you see on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah, Joseph.
Tree
Please.
is judged by its fruits. Leaders are judged by their actions. Massive. So ask the questions: Are you taking the right action in your workplace? To become your workplace to become a good leader.
All right. Yeah, that's what the closing thought is. If you see all the three different characters, everyone had took massive action. People who had saw the film will be able to appreciate and correlate. They took massive action. Character one, he brought the entire village. It takes a village to build a child. He took the entire village to go for that objective. And second character, just for the love and affection, what he kept on Mali, he took his life, he went, and the massive action what he took, including sedating the wild animal from the forest, and then he used that as a weapon to go and attack the British people. And third person, he risked his life, he's ready to lose his life just to make sure that the British people get defeated, which means your action is what really get count when it comes to leadership. It's not the position what you hold. So don't get into that mindset, okay, I'm holding this position, that would make my life easier. No, you got to show your action. In fact, I will call your massive action. Okay, with that, that brings the curtain down of the session. The quick summary, we are on time, 9:59. So we talked about the news management style. That was the new information. And then we talked about RRR leadership skill, respect, resilient, responsible. Tips to implement RRR leadership right. We need to appreciate, accept, and accountable. And we talked about another concept, pizza versus people. The people are different. And then the closing thought, your action speaks more than your word. And that just brings the clock to 10 a.m. EST and 8:30 EST. We are on bang on time. Otherwise, I want to say thank you to the wonderful participant who took part in today's learning. I hope you had a good learning. And if there is anything that you wanted to discuss in terms of the Q&A, I'm open, I'm available. The next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we can talk, we can stack it around, we can discuss, and then take this session for closure. Maybe volunteers, 1 or 2 people can unmute and share the feedback. How did they like their session? You wanted to use your chat. If you don't want to speak, feel free to use your chat to put your comments, and then also just say whether this is useful to you so that you can apply this in your workplace, friends.
Okay, can I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, Aaron, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. Starting from the first line, I started learning from the news management style. No, I quite understand the leadership style, management style, but the way you explain the now, the empathetic, the why, and the social really give me, a clearer picture on how to approach the leadership as time go on. But my comment to add to what I've learned today, just for all of us that are here, is that in leadership, we have to put in at the back of our mind the place of mentorship. We should have somebody we are looking up to, and we should have somebody we are our mentees coming behind us. That to strike a kind of balance. You look for somebody ahead of you, perhaps in your career, your goals that you're looking up to, that you want to be, even surpass what they're doing, and you have people coming behind you that you are bringing up to present where you are, and perhaps as you go on the journey of leadership. That's my little contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. You nicely put across. I'm a small request to you. You have my mail ID. If you can put the comments what you shared or mail, I would treasure that. I would show I would keep that as in my treasure. Okay, if you can do that after the session, that'll be great, Joseph.
Surely I'll do that. I'll do that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joseph. Who would like to go next? I need one more person. In terms of any open question, please bring it on. And if you don't have an open question, feel free to unmute and just share your feedback. That would make my Saturday morning.
Yeah, I would like to share the feedback and then ask a question, Arun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, theory, we have tons of theory, but the practical experience on ground is very valuable. So I felt like so we do many courses, okay, using MOOCs and all, but the learning we do theoretically and then apply it. So all that I think you are bringing up to the board, and it's a the best part of it is we are able to trying to relate in a way that we can understand using interesting movie examples. I have never seen that, and would like to like you to request for more sessions like this, so that we can get this value addition and try to apply in our teams also, and we'll get back to you on the feedback for the same.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a unique style I have with all the experience what I have, my 20 years of journey. I see to connect and a little bit of creative. I took some time to how do I connect the dots. I did some whiteboard session. I did the mind mapping and things like that. So yeah, I'm humbled by your feedback and a compliment, Bala. And by the way, you also have my mail ID. I appreciate if you can just send me a send me your comments, your learning. That would be useful, because I'm going to take I'll be working on just creating some of these appreciation note in my maybe the website, which I would build later. So these things will go into that.
We'll do that for sure. And thanks a lot for your contributions. It's a lot for us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
In a role like a agile coach or a scrum master, right? So obviously we may not be in a frontline, okay, actively working in terms of technology or giving directions for the teams. So how can we be more responsible in that, because it's more of coaching style of actions and also respect as such. So this is a challenge right now I'm facing with my team. So need your inputs there.
Well, good. Thanks for bringing that question, Bala. Again, each and every role would have a different flavor and aspect to apply what I taught. In your role as a agile coach, yes, you need to respect your fellow team member, since I believe you will be working with senior management to implement, bring in some of the process, some of the ways of working you try to change.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so the respect is something that you would, I told you two different ways. One is through your intellectually, just go for that extra mile to know each and every concept in agile, how it is done, be it Kanban board, be the retrospective, be it how, just go to the level of core competent. That's one. And the other thing is that appreciate, even if out of 10 senior managers you are going to deal with, even if somebody says something about, right, and then just see to that you give them a compliment. When you start doing it, you would eventually get your respect. Once you get the respect, then they will start giving it again and again, even you don't demand that. That's what I followed, and it literally worked for me. Now coming back to the important, that's the reason I kept the accountable at the last. Accountable is not that easy. You got to shed your sweat. You got to lose your night sleep to make something happen. And find out, is there anything that probably you're taking a little bit casual, or something you're not meeting the mark? They've kept some benchmark, which is not really happening. See to that you identify one or two areas. Okay. Make how you can make it fully accountable to get things done. Right? You can work on one other thing. What I can suggest you is you can work on your SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, because that's something I do to make myself more accountable. I identify some of the weakness and try to work on it, make that into opportunity. Right? So you can, one suggestion I can give you is, two suggestions. One is identify in which area you feel that you are lacking. Find out how you can make yourself all the more accountable towards that. That is one. Second is, you can work on your SWOT analysis, Bala.
the point two comes first, right? So basing on our SWOT analysis, we can able to take actions and
Correct.
improve
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
right. Absolutely, you're right. So just work on your SWOT analysis, SWOT, and then that would just then you'll identify some of the area and identify the area what you've identified. Go for the left, right, center. Make yourself totally accountable, because that's how I've done in some areas. Because in one of my role where I was handling an entire account, right? There are a bunch of things from operation to compliance to quality to audit to BCP, a team, onboarding, resource delivery, customer management, stakeholder management, CSAT, delivery, escalation call. And there was 12 to 15 different moving component. What I did, I identified all these areas. I took complete ownership. See, accountable is nothing but total ownership. You take the total ownership from one end to another end, how it happens, and you master it. Then you move to the next section. Next, you move to the next function. When you do that, that's when you gain your regard. And in one of the role where the senior manager, the head who handles of 15,500, 1,800 members, others will not be hesitate to go into his room. But I go into his room and he puts his hand on my shoulder and then we walk together. You see the difference of you demand the respect. Why? Because I took the complete ownership. They call total ownership. How I did, as I mentioned, towards my accountability and towards my responsibility. That's what I did. I think it works. You can try that, Bala.
Sure. Yeah, thanks a lot. And by the way, I came to the session with a lot of expectations and you satisfied them. You quenched my thirst. Thanks a lot.
You know what? This is something you made my day. The reason is I know I've set some benchmark and you also had a good impression. I was thinking, oh, if Bala joins, will I be able to?
Yeah, really it's satisfied, and I was also went with a lot of learnings, and now it's ball is in my court, so I will try to implement and share the feedback also with you. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Arun.
Okay. Now that since Bala is a regular participant and also very active person who comes up with last session, he was here in the call, and this week also he contributed, and also he made my day that I was able to meet his expectation. Again, as a compliment that I wanted to give a Mizan voucher, 1,000 rupees to him over the weekend. I'll send that coupon to you, Bala, to your mail ID.
I owe you a lot, Arun. Actually, I should be able to translate your learnings and give it back to you in terms of satisfaction with the teams or in my learning. Thanks a lot, Arun.
Yeah. So over the weekend you would have your voucher. No problem. Pleasure is
Thanks
ours.
a lot, Arun. Thank you.
Thanks for being a good participant. Okay.
Thanks,
quick time check. It's 10:09 with one more minute. Okay, Vijay, do you want to give any closing thoughts so that we can say goodbye to all of the participants? Vijay, I'm not sure.
Thank you, Arun, for the great session.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see. Arpana is my daughter. She also joined. Hey, Arpana, I hope you had a good learning today. Sendal, thanks for joining. Thanks, Arsha, for joining. Okay, good.
That's my pleasure. I was so proud to get a dad like you. I learned a lot of things. Thank you very much, Pa.
Okay. Oh, by the way, that's my daughter. Okay, good. Yeah. All righty. Otherwise, thank you so much. I wish many good things happen in your life. Otherwise, we'll meet you all in the next session on a different topic. Okay.
Yeah, very lucky father and great father. Thanks, Arun. Good to see.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good luck.